This is Culture Uncut. This is Culture Uncut. This is Culture Uncut. I am your host, Jason Spears, and Colt fans, we've got a lot to talk about.
This is Culture Uncut. I am your host, Jason Spears. It is Thursday, and we are 1 or 2 days removed from Phillip Rivers signing to the practice squad. He has gotten his beloved number 17 back. I thought it was really cool that Daniel Jones said, gave his blessing. Daniel Jones, man, I do want to say this up front. Over the year, I've gained so much respect for that guy as a competitor, as a good teammate. No one's had a bad thing to say about him. He's obviously a hard worker, somebody that takes his job very seriously, and is somebody that I hope they re-sign, and maybe they can be an incentive-laden deal for maybe the second year or something. But he's earned my respect. He's a great teammate, had a really good year until he got hurt, and I definitely think if they can get him back to where he was, that he is a winning quarterback. So I want to say that up front about Daniel Jones. I mean, I don't think enough is being said about how tough that guy was, what he played through, how accountable he was to his teammates to try to be out there for him. And it reminds me of a guy that we just brought in, Phillip Rivers. Same deal. Uber competitive, wants to win, wants to be out there for his teammates, brings a lot of juice to the team. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on it now that it's official. I'm excited about it. Now, let me say up front, full disclosure, I don't think this is going to work. And I don't think the Colts are going to make the playoffs. So I'm saying that up front before I start talking about why I dig the move and I think it's a smart one. So understand, I know this is probably not going to work and that they are probably still not going to make the playoffs. But by signing Phillip Rivers, you do a bunch of things. One, now you can at least say, well, there's a chance. Because he's a Hall of Fame level quarterback. Yes, he hasn't played, but from everything I've been told, obviously he's a high school coach, so his brain's been in the game for 5 years, so that's not gone. They run a dialed down version of what we run, so he knows the offense. He was in it when Shane was his quarterback coach, so he knows it like the back of his hand. And at first it was shocking. He's 44 and he hasn't played in 5 years. But then you think about it. He's very close to Shane. He knows the offense. He's very close to Riley, so he can help Riley. But more than all of that, he's going to bring juice and accountability to the complex, to West 56 for the last month. And the Colts looked like they were completely out of juice by the end of that Jacksonville game. And the way that the locker room was described afterwards, they were done. It was just, there was nothing left. And they know they're on the Titanic, right? So I want to give Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen some credit for thinking outside the box. And this is nothing like the Jeff Saturday thing. Because when Jeff Saturday came to the Colts, he had no coaching experience. And Jeff Saturday compared this to him coming here, which is insane because it's nothing close to the same thing. When he came here, he'd never coached at the professional level. He knew nobody outside of Jim Irsay. And he just basically walked in and tried to coach the team. This is totally different. We're talking about a quarterback who has been a Hall of Fame level quarterback who knows, I think they said 11 players from the 2020 team are still here, so he knows 11 guys along with Riley Leonard and the head coach. He knows the offense. The captains on this team are all guys he played with for the most part. So is it a long shot? Absolutely, it's a long shot. But here's the thing. I think he gives us a better chance to win than Riley Leonard or certainly Brett Rippon. Certainly Brett Rippon. I do think Riley did some good things, but he's still not ready. Like, he's a developmental prospect, which is why he was taken in the 6th round. And Phil did not sign up to be a backup. I don't believe that. I do think, though, that if Riley is healthy enough to play, there should be some packages for him in this game to run the ball. Now, you might think that's crazy, but I really do think you got to put all hands on deck in the last 4 games. So whatever that is, whether that's Riley coming in for, to run some, a trick play, or, the Wildcat or whatever. I just think everything has to be on the table at this point. You know what I mean? And I'll admit I know it's destined to fail, but I'm excited now, at least to watch the last 4 weeks, because you never know, man. Phil was never a super athletic guy. He was never, he was a statue in the pocket when we got him in 2020. So he's just going to be, that doesn't worry me. The only 2 things that worry me about Phillip Rivers quarterbacking the team, really, him taking hits, because, you haven't done that in 5 years, so your body's not used to it anymore. So that's going to be something that he's going to have to adjust to, and who knows how that's going to go, and whether or not his body reacts well to that. I don't think it will, but who knows? And then the other thing is just I guess the synchronicity. Is that even a word? Synchronicity, the link, the ability to sync up with his receivers in a short period of time. Our arm was not great then, but they said he was still spinning it really well. As far as, like, able to get the ball out quick and all that stuff, and his not 7-on-7, but his workout was really good, and he's still deadly accurate and all that stuff. So I'm reading these articles about executives saying it's going to be a disaster and blah, 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 and all these other negative things. And while I understand it's likely not going to work and all that other thing, like, what option did the Colts have? The fact they reached out to Sam Ehlinger tells you how desperate they were, because Sam Ehlinger played here and he wasn't very good. I would take Phillip Rivers over Sam Ehlinger. I would take the duo of Phillip Rivers and Riley Leonard over Sam Ehlinger, because I think Riley showed more in that one half or one game than Sam ever really did. And I like Sam. I loved Sam's attitude, his smarts, he was a great teammate, but he's not going to get you in the playoffs. I think there's only one guy that is capable of doing it. And honestly, out of the people that we have, Brett Rippon, or reached out to Sam Ehlinger or Riley Leonard, as much as I was impressed with Riley, I don't think any of those guys could lead them to the playoffs. And I don't even think there's like a 2% chance of that happening. Now, with Phillip Rivers, it's different, because he's got the experience. He's played at a Hall of Fame level. So it's a lottery ticket, but I think the percentage of him succeeding is higher than Riley Leonard. I really do. That doesn't necessarily mean the Colts, even if Phil plays well, it doesn't necessarily mean the Colts are going to win these games. They're playing teams that are, at the Colts' best, are around their same level. And the Colts are not at their best. They're going to probably miss Braden this week. Sauce is probably going to miss. They might get Buck back, which would be huge. But, they're missing guys. They're missing their top 2 corners, and they're going against an elite passing game. They're going to be missing their right tackle, and they're going against an elite defensive line. So the games that they really have to me are the last 3. I don't expect them to go into Seattle and win. I just want Phillip to go in there and show he can play, so that we have hope for the last 3 games. Because I do think a healthy Phillip Rivers, and maybe we get Sauce back for like the 49ers game, and Buck, who knows what can happen. We've played better at home all year than we have. Those are 2 games we have to win, the 2 home games. And then if we do, we're going into the last game, 10-6. And so there's no guarantees we win any of these games, but his pedigree makes me believe it's possible. And at this point, you're selling hope to your locker room. And watching Shane talk about Phillip and Phillip talking about being back, you can see the passion. But like Shane lit up when he was talking about him. So he's all in. Like the juice is back. I think they are going to come out ready to play against Seattle. Doesn't mean anything, honestly, as far as like whether, as far as like, are we going to win? It doesn't guarantee we're going to win that game, but I do think you're going to see a lot better effort from everybody because I think the juice is back in the building. And I think all the guys believe in Phillip, especially the guys that have been there. And if there's any person that can pull this off outside of Tom Brady, I think it's Phillip Rivers because he was never built on athleticism. His brain is like a computer chip when it comes to defenses, reading defenses, getting you in the right play. So again, the preface, no, I don't think they make the playoffs, and no, this probably isn't going to work. But I am saying there is a chance it could work. And that's all you can really ask for when you're looking at Brett Rippon, an injured Riley Leonard, or Sam Ellinger, or Phillip Rivers. You're damn right I'm taking Phillip Rivers and the lottery ticket. It can happen. He can play well. If he plays well, the rest of the team has to play well. They have to help him. The running game has to be better. The O-line has to be better. Guys can't drop passes. But more than that, on defense, our defense has to show up and play well. That is the biggest thing. The team has to play complementary football. Again, I don't think they go into Seattle and win. I think Seattle would beat the Colts at full strength. Seattle, I think, is the best team in the NFL right now. So I don't think they go in and win there. It's the 3 games after that I think, because I think if you go in there with Phil, even if he has a bad game, he gets his feet wet, he gets reps with his players, and then you go from there, and then you hope we can somehow win the last 3 games. At least 2 games. I mean, I think 10-7, it's 50-50, especially with the teams we've lost to. But I think there's a chance the Chargers will be 10-7 and we win the tiebreaker with them. This season, to me, as bad as it's been, will be a success if this team makes the playoffs. They don't even have to win in the playoffs. With the injuries that they've had, Buck, I mean, it's all huge players. Buck missed at least 4 games and part of 1 game. You're going to miss DJ the last 4 games and part of 1 game. Sauce has missed games. Mooney's missed a ton of games, and he's going to miss the rest of the season. Like, you can't lose pro or all pro level players or players that are playing at a Pro Bowl / all pro level and have it not affect your team. And again, I always get pissed when people say you make excuses, because these aren't excuses. These are facts. It's not like we're running out the same team and they're just suddenly went to shit. No, we started getting injured. Our special teams got worse because we lost our special teams player and our kicker. And so those things matter. Our defense got worse because we lost our 3 best players. Our offense got worse because we lost we lost our quarterback, and he got injured and was playing on a bad leg. Then we lost our quarterback. All that stuff, that's not excuses. Those are facts. So now it's on the Colts to try to figure this out. I don't know how they get it done, but they've got to have a good plan, and they have to be ready to play each and every game, and they have to know they can do this. They have to believe that they can do this. Because if you don't have belief, you don't have anything. Once you get confidence and you start believing, and that's when the snowball starts rolling downhill as opposed to you pushing the snowball uphill. So do I think it's going to happen? No, but I wanted to get on here and say I commend the Colts for doing something outside the box this time that makes sense. The Jeff Saturday thing made no sense. This makes sense for the reasons I listed. Because he knows the offense. He's a Hall of Fame level player that played at a high level the last time we saw him. He knows Shane. They talk all the time. This just makes sense. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but I can understand it and I commend them for doing it because it's getting lampooned by everybody. And I understand it. It makes sense, and I'm glad they did it. It gives Phil a proper way to kind of end his career on his terms and go out there and hey man, let's see what happens. You never know. You never know. And so I'm excited to see how the season plays out. It's given me a jolt of energy. I talked to Luke. It's given him a jolt of energy. He's excited about it. I think all Colt fans should be excited about it because, man, Phil gave us our best year in the last 10. And he was only there 1 year, and he was great. He was a great teammate. I hope everybody supports him, no matter how he plays. It took balls to make this decision because it pushes his Hall of Fame thing back 5 years, but he doesn't care. You can see that 1 year really made an impression on Phil, and he loves the Colts organization. He loves the Chargers too. He watched both of their games, and kept in touch with some guys on the team, and obviously Shane. So he wants to come in here and try to help this team. He cares, and you can never be mad at a guy for that. And I always love Phil for what he did in 2020, and now for this, because it takes a ton of stones to do it. Credit to Steichen and Ballard for doing it. It probably isn't going to work, but the balls that you have to make that type of decision, both on Phillip's part and on the Colts' part, should be commended, in my opinion. So I'm pumped to see what happens, good or bad. I respect the decision, and I hope it works out because it would be an amazing ending to this story, this roller coaster of a season that went from, Super Bowl contending for 8 games to this team won't win another game after we lost DJ. Now I've got at least hope. Hope is better than no hope. That's the way I look at it. So do I have super high expectations that this team can run the table and go far in the playoffs? Absolutely not. But after all we've been through, just having hope at the end of the season, a chance, that's all you can really ask for because we've lost not one, not two, but 3 quarterbacks. So, I mean, to even have the opportunity to be sitting 8-5 and have a chance to do something is a blessing because I was so wrecked after that Jacksonville game. I mean, you guys heard it. I mean, I didn't even think about Phil as an option, but that's why they play the games, man. And if there's anyone that can do it, it's 17. So, and I have seen people say he's not a Hall of Fame player. This dude's top 6 in yards, top 7 in, I think, touchdowns. He's an absolute Hall of Fame player. Just because you don't go to a Super Bowl doesn't mean you're not a Hall of Fame player. Dan Marino only went to 1. He's a Hall of Fame player. I would put Phillip Rivers against anybody. Like, he's a gamer. He's a Hall of Fame player. If you watch this dude play and how smart he is and the way he played the game, the way he was a great teammate, the toughness, you have to remember when he was quarterbacking in San Diego and in Indy, he had to deal with, let's go through it, Manning, prime Manning, prime Roethlisberger, prime Brady, prime Mahomes, prime Allen. Like, no, there's a lot of quarterbacks that couldn't beat those teams. If Phillip Rivers would have played in the NFC, I promise you he would have went to a Super Bowl. I promise you. And I'll stand on that hill. He is just like Reggie Wayne is an absolute Hall of Famer. Both of those guys are. I honestly think, and this will probably shock people, but I honestly think he's got more of a Hall of Fame case than Eli Manning does. I really do. I just think Eli Manning played in a conference that wasn't as good quarterback-wise. And Phil just, he played in the best. And then in 1 year, I thought they had a chance to, I think it was 2007, 6 and 7. I thought they had a really good chance, but that dude fumbled the ball in 2006. And or if that guy Marlon McCree doesn't fumble that ball in 2006, we're going to San Diego in the AFC Championship. And I don't know if we go to a Super Bowl because we could not win. The Chargers owned us back then. So, and then in 2007, against us, he tears his ACL, and he played the next week, like on a torn. Like, that dude is just insane. So he's a Hall of Fame player. I just wanted to point that out to the people that think he's not. He is. in every way. Mind, his physical play, teammate, toughness, all the intangible stuff. Absolute great player. I hope if Phillip Rivers came back for another team, I'd be rooting my ass off for him if the Colts were in the playoffs because I love the guy. Hated him when he was with the Chargers because he would talk shit, back it up, and beat us seemingly every game. Every big game, he would find a way to beat us. And I hated him for that. But then when he was on my side, man, I love that guy. I gained so much respect for him. I've never gained so much respect for a player as I did for the year Phillip Rivers played with us. So I love the guy. I hope this works out more than anything because of who he is, and I want him to have that way of going out. And I also want it for us because those players in the locker room deserve to be in the playoffs. They're good enough. They played good enough. They need to be in the playoffs. So I hope this works out. I don't think it will because I don't want people to get what I'm saying misconstrued, that I think like this is going to send us to the Super Bowl or the promised land. I don't think that, but I do think it gives us a fighting chance to make the playoffs. And that's all we can really ask for at this point. So I just wanted to hop on, give my Phillip Rivers take. Let me know what you guys think of the signing. Do you like it? Are you against it? If so, why? And also, let me know if you want me to continue doing previews. I was not going to do them after the Jacksonville game because I felt like our season was over and it's just too depressing. But I'll admit this has invigorated me, and I will do them. I'll do the because I didn't want to do them because I knew we were just going to lose every game, and it's just like what's the point? But now it's like we don't really know what's going to happen. So it makes me kind of more apt to do the previews. So guys, let me know two things in the comments. Your thoughts on Phil being signed to the practice squad and probably starting the majority of our remaining games. And also, do you want me to continue doing the previews? Because if you don't, I won't do them. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I just wanted to, because the last time it hadn't happened yet, we hadn't signed them, and I'd seen some articles written and some things said, and I just wanted to share my thoughts and give my opinions. And I'd love to hear yours. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up on this wonderful Thursday morning. Hope everybody has a great day and rest of the week. It's almost the weekend, and when the weekend will be great, and hopefully you guys have a good weekend as well. So thank you for listening. I appreciate all the support. I've picked up some followers. Keep sharing it. Keep sharing the pod. I appreciate everyone that does that, and all the new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. This has been Culture Uncut with your host, Jason Spears. I will talk to you soon.